In the name of God the Almighty, peace to you. Today I will give definition of the devil. What is the devil? Many people think the devil is just an evil outside us. But if we understand the story of the creation and the elements of nature, especially the nature of planet Earth, with the four elements: water, soil, fire, and air. When God created the humans from mud, which is a mixture of water and soil, He created also the jinni race, which also we can call it the unseen race, from fire and air. But we share the same soul, and it's up to each one of us to decide what he will end to be: a human, a devil, or a god, or some big entity that could be close to God as much as possible. So the devil is inside each one of us. It's like we are human, I am human, there is an unseen version of me. You can call it uh, the consciousness. So whenever I make a decision, I always consult my consciousness before taking the action, before decide my intention towards something in front of me will be. So according to this, the consciousness, it depends how much I worked on my consciousness, on my own self, the decision will come. If I am giving in all my power to the things I desire, to my pride, to my ignorance, to my arrogance, I will become a fiery of nature of fiery. I get angry quickly. I make rash decision, and I'm unstable like air, like fire. So I will get the devilish characteristics. But if I have been working on how to control the side, I will be using it for good. So this is a test. When the physical race and the unseen race have been created, this was the test for the humans, because our world, there's also a shadow world that exists, parallel world. It exists in the same time. So this is me. There's also an unseen me, which is very similar, and it depends of our action and our decisions and our working on ourselves, which nature will take over. Basically, mud is stronger than fire. When you want to extinguish a fire, you throw mud at it and it's done. But when fire gets over control, it destroys everything. Fire, it's always greedy, it wants more. Also, air and the wind brings destruction, and it's unstable. While the soil and water nature is grounded and generous and gives life. So these are the nature, our the four elements of nature inside each of one of us. So if you give in to the power of fire and wind, you will be a destructive being, or also known as devil. If you become grounded, in control, and know how to use the fire and wind in you for good use, you are human. Some people think that it's between God and devil. It's not the case. God is above all of this. He created all of this. He already have control over the four elements, and he's in total control. So now we are being given a chance to become immortal too, like God. But who will make it? Not the one who are giving to their devilish side and become destructive. God wants constructive people. And that's the test. So the devil is not only the evil outside of us, it's also the evil inside us, the destructive force that's inside us. We have to use it, but we have to use it with wisdom. Basically, if you want to, we are not yet God to decide, for example, to go and make a weapon and go destroy somebody else, because this is not allowed to us. There are rules for the test we are in. Do not kill, do not transgress, for whatever reason. So, what we can use the force of fire and wind and air inside of us. We can use it, for example, to for example, calling for justice in our prayers. But we are not allowed to use it if we are to succeed the test fully. That's why the main test we have is to fight the darkness within us, to fight what is destructive inside of us. This is because God, when He started the creation, when everything was just spiritual realm, God, when He decided to the first creation, it started all from a photon of light. And then after He imagined the creation and determined it and finished it, then He created His own physical form. After He was completely in control, it didn't happen in a fraction of a second or something like this. It happened gradually. So He worked on Himself. And then at one point, He decided to create creatures that could reach a level, maybe not 1%, 100% like Him, close to Him, as close as possible. Creative, nice, peaceful. They are in control over their dark side. So they don't use fire and air to punish unless it's to destroy something evil. So that's the aim of the creation, to get the four elements, to know how to accept our evil side or our destructive side, and to put it under control, not to push it or to lie to ourselves that it doesn't exist. So what's happening now, that we are living in a world divided between people who are claiming to themselves to be holy or good 100%, and people who are claiming that they are not understanding what I am saying, that they can get their souls balanced between good and evil. So what's happening now, that the people who are religious are lying to themselves. At one point in time, they go pray, etc., and they are in contact with God, and at one point they start claiming that they are better than others, and here the arrogant side reach them, and with time they forget that they should fight the arrogance within them. So they get arrogant, mixed with ignorance about what the devil is. They think the devil is just an evil outside them, while he's taking over their own soul. And they give into that, and they think they are doing good, and they are going now to be pleasing to their God, and they will be surprised in the end that they have been doing it all the way wrong. On the other side, people think that they can have control over their dark side and also lie to themselves, and they give in to their desires, to their everything, and at one point their level of freedom goes over the top, and they deny that they are created, and they think that they know something, while our knowledge is a drop of an ocean, in an ocean. So it's very tricky. It's very tricky because, as I said, fire and air are the nature, or are the destructive nature, or the angry nature, or the unstable nature, or the arrogant nature, while the soil and water are the grounded nature, generous nature, the nature that gives life, and all this. So basically, the water and soil, when we mix them together, mud, they give mud. It's stronger than fire and air. When you can extinguish fire with mud. But once we work on that, on ourselves, here is the trick. We have to do this every day. We don't have to give in. We have, to work to not to give to our anger, to our desire of vengeance, to not say something today and do the opposite, to not be unstable in our actions. This is the way how to fight our fiery and airy nature, to remain grounded, to remain productive. And so this is the way, this is the test. And the point, there's a huge ignorance. I can see, I have been going, sometimes on YouTube and seeing videos of people speaking about religions, Christianity, and all these things, and the other side, people speaking about atheism and the science, and blah, blah, blah. And as I said, both sides got it wrong. If you don't fight the devil within, you become one. Even without you noticing it. Many people ignorantly doing it. When you go to your church or to your mosque, and after finishing your prayer, and you think that you done your duty out of your ignorance, or your limited thinking, you go out and then you say, you laugh at someone you see in the street drinking, or kissing someone in public, or something like that. You think, I am better than him, I have done my duty with God. The moment then you start your arrogance, the devil is taking over your soul. So your devil, your unseen, is becoming your, substance. It's taking over your soul, because the soul it was destined to be fought over between the physical and the unseen, between, as I said, the muddy nature and the fiery nature. And at the time of death, God will see what the soul, which side has taken over this soul. So that's why we say someone sold the soul to the devil. You see? So when you give in to your fiery nature, to your destructive nature, to your arrogant nature, to your ignorant nature, you are giving it to the devil, which is in you too. So to your evil side. So this is the way the test going. We were born 50 good, 50 evil. And that's how we should return, if we can manage to do it. But even if you can manage to get more than 50% of your uh, grounded nature, good nature, that's even better. So, what's happening during the timeline of our life, the life of each one of us? That according to our actions, to our intentions, to what we think, to what we have in our hearts of good feelings or bad feelings, the soul is going, left and right according, some, I am now in a good position, tomorrow I am bad, then after tomorrow I go back to the right. Some people go all the way to the wrong, some people go all the way to the right. So this is the way the test works. So this is the devil. The devil is within us. And it's not the opposite of God. God is above all of this. It's between a human and a devil. It's between the muddy nature or the fiery nature. So we are in the test in order to build a soul that is wise, that's having its destructive forces under control. This is the way, this is the test. So the devil is not some imaginary just evil that's just outside. Of course, as evil nature, we are affected by the evil of other people. We are affected by the evil of nature. We are affected by many evil forces around us. But there's also the main test for us is to have control over the evil side within us. Not to refuse it, because sometimes you need it. So you have to use it wisely, and that's by accepting it. And how you accept your evil side? By being true. The first key in order to have control over yourself is to be true to yourself, to others, and to your maker. And that means I admit that I'm doing something wrong. Many people say we are not doing anything wrong, and they don't admit it. And that's when they start not seeing the devil within themselves. They don't admit they have a devil within themselves. That's the problem. So this is the devil. It's simple, but many people just lose it. And there are, of course, people who are relying on magic. They try to communicate with their unseen side or the shadow side, and they think they are communicating with natural superpowers, while exactly they are just, giving more force to their fiery side, and literally selling their soul to the evil side. In the end, if they died in this state, they died as devil, not as a human. So this is the devil. They are playing with fire. If they don't repent in time, they will lose themselves. So it's tricky. Not everyone who can get to the other side of himself, to the unseen side, can get things under control. Many people lose their minds, become crazy. Others become like schizophrenic, having two personalities, disorders. Now he's good. After 1 hour, he may go kill someone. So it's how the soul works. So the soul was created in the middle. We have the physical side, we have the unseen side, we have the muddy side, the fiery side, and they are fighting each other over the soul. So wherever you want to take your soul, you take it. But this will work with what you think, what you have in your heart. Those who have evil in their heart, they go and surrender to the evil side. Those who have goodness in their heart, they go to the right direction. That's it. Simple. And those who followed the commandments of God, they never lose their souls. Just follow. They are simple. Do not associate others with God, and do not kill, do not steal, do not, commit adultery and all these things. Very simple, and you pass the test. And don't become arrogant and all these things. Learn more knowledge and more wisdom. So once you don't do this, you start giving in to the evil side. Also, once you do this and you go arrogantly boasting about it, also you give in to your fiery and airy nature. So it's a difficult test, and blessed are those who get their muddy side extinguishing the fiery side and use it only for good, for fighting evil. This is it. This is how we get close to God, by level, by way of living, by to be happy for us. We can achieve His goal from behind creating us. That was He intended when He created us. So there is a soul, and there are two sides fighting for it: the fire and air, and the water and soil. This is destructive, and this is constructive. You see, fire is greedy. You can throw anything in front of fire, it will eat it. And air is unstable and sometimes goes crazy. While the soil and water nature are grounded and give life. So both the four elements are necessary for a complete personality, but you have to be in control. It's tricky. But as I said, the devil doesn't work only by taking you into, outside the God commandments. You can be inside the God commandments and becoming a devil too. Here is a tricky point. Because God is not one-eyed. God is for all. He doesn't see a Jew and ignore a Christian or a Buddhist or something, or vice versa. God is for all, and we should never feel arrogant. As I said, the devil is within us and outside us, and every evil outside us. But our duty is to fight it within us. This is the test, because each soul will stand alone in front of God. So this soul will see in the end which side it has been following, the human side or the devil side. And great are the ones who get close to God, who have everything under control and gain wisdom and gain knowledge and became, trustworthy to become immortal or to become creators in the future. So this is it. I hope now the situation is clear. Now we understand what the psychological illnesses that people face, schizophrenia and crazy, when people go nuts. Now it's maybe understood by this explanation. So don't play with fire. Don't try to, if you are not responsible, you are not wise enough, you don't have enough knowledge, don't go and try to, communicate or rely on your unseen side. Don't go there to the parallel world, because you may never return. And as I said, people can go crazy or schizophrenic, or can go also ignorantly, giving themselves totally to their evil nature. And we have seen many examples throughout history about that. Dictators and tyrants and all these things. So that's it. Simple, yet many people still losing it. They just don't understand it because many try to make the devil as the opposite of God, or someone who's have similar powers. But no, God is the creator of everything. He has the power over evil, power over good, over everything. He possesses all these powers. But we we are having a soul created with two sides fighting over it: the human, the physical side, and the unseen side, which is the fiery and energetic side, fire and air against soil and water. And blessed the people who can make the two one and have control. And that could only be happen when we use the mud to extinguish the fire. Unfortunately, many people lose it when they get the fire to eat the mud nature. And these are the biggest losers. So it's very tricky. It's not easy to get there because you may lose yourself. Don't lose it. Ciao.